Hello, it's the 23rd of August and welcome to the ZTGD Gamescom Newsburst Special, or Newsburst Gamescom Special, whichever one you want. Today brought to you by Saints Flow, which is either going to taste like piss or turn my piss purple.
Or both.
Or both. With me today, of course, I have Justin.
Hey.
And it's been a week. Been a busy week. A lot of stuff happened in Germany, Cologne, to be precise, in the form of Gamescom. We had both Sony and Microsoft, along with Ubisoft, EA, and a whole host of publishers flaunt their wares on the Gamescom floor. To be fair, there wasn't a massive amount of, big news, with the exception of the release date of the PlayStation 4, which has been confirmed as November 14th in the US.
15th.
November 15th in the US, and then November 29th in the UK and Europe.
Haha, you get it later.
We do, 2 weeks later, and I can only assume it's because Sony wanted the console out in America before Black Friday, because obviously you guys go shopping then.
Yep.
And maybe they didn't think they'd have enough demand to do a worldwide launch on that date. So I can only guess that would be the reason. But 2 weeks is better than last time. I mean, PS3, we had to wait about 4 months in the UK before it launched. So 2 weeks is fine.
All right.
No release date for the Xbox though. Microsoft have kept stum this time around, although they did announce that European Xbox pre-orderers will get a copy of FIFA 14 completely free in the form of a digital code in the box. So that's a pretty big deal over here. Nothing has been announced for the US. Any kind of, I would have thought they'd have said Madden. That would have made sense to me.
Yeah.
I guess it would make sense to you guys, but nothing has been confirmed as any freebies that you'll be getting in the box. They have confirmed that there will be no Connectless SKU. It is coming with Connect, whether you like it or not, regardless of whether it can be switched on and turned off and whatnot. It's still going to be packed in. A lot of people over here have seemed to kind of forgive them with the FIFA thing, because that is a big deal.
Right.
They also announced that EA is going to have a collection of Ultimate Team cards in the form of Legends that's exclusive to the Xbox One. Although PS3 will be getting Ultimate Team, they won't get this special 40 cards pack thing, and it's got a load of classic footballers from the last 40 years, I guess, 30 or 40 years. So that's something, and it certainly makes up for some of the negative vibes they've been sort of getting from recent U-turns and backtracks. So for once, we haven't got a Xbox One U-turn.
Yep, and I'm kind of curious if they're going to do anything for the US.
You'd think they would. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they still a bit arrogant and think, well, the US market's going to favour us over Sony anyway. In Europe, Sony has always had a very strong following,
right,
and in a lot of the countries outsells the Xbox. So, maybe this was to try and get them back on side, but in the Europe, but maybe in the US they think, well, we've got that sewn up anyway. I don't know.
Yeah. So hopefully they announce something, because I know there's a lot of Americans screaming, "What about us?"
Yeah, well, that's fair enough, isn't it? I mean, we're getting a game that's going to be costing 50 quid retail built into the box, and yeah, where's your game? And as I say, Madden, I dread to think how much this has cost Microsoft, because EA weren't going to hand that over lightly. That's got to cost. They've got to be paying probably, I don't know, £20-25 per console sold for that.
I don't know. I know it'll be a lot, but what about us? That's all I could really say in this matter.
Yeah, this tastes like shit.
I figured. How old is it? Did you just buy it?
No, I got it free with Saints Row today.
Oh, did you? Oh.
Yeah, because
Well,
I pre-ordered it.
Oh, wow, that's a good pre-order. But I know when Saints Row 3 came out, Ken got a couple cans of that. So that's probably been sitting on some kind of shelf for like a couple years or something.
Hang on. Let's see if I can find a sell. No, the sell-by date is 2014. We're looking good. If I'm not on the podcast on Sundays because I've dropped dead.
Fair enough.
Yeah. They've got to announce something, surely. But then why didn't they announce that at Gamescom? It's the last big conference before the release. I mean, although they've said that they are going to be at TGS this year, which is fucking pointless. This is it. This is the world is watching kind of thing. I'm surprised they didn't announce anything. They did, however, announce a launch lineup along with a list from Sony of the games that will be coming out before the end of the year. So that kind of 4-week period from 6 weeks for you guys from PS4 launch to close of play. 2013. So I'm going to run down the list of games. Some of these are repeats, but I'll go through the lot and you'll see my eyes go funny because I'm not actually looking at the screen. I'm going to be reading up and down. So here we go. Here's the full list for Sony. And as I say, these are all going to be released before the end of 2013. There are 33 games in total. So we've got Assassin's Creed 4, Basement Crawl, Battlefield 4, Blacklight, Call of Duty Ghosts, Contrast, DC Universe Online, Doki Doki Universe, Drive Club, FIFA 14, Flower, Hohokam, Just Dance 2014, Killzone Shadowfall, Knack, Marvel, Lego Marvel Superheroes, Madden NFL 25, Minecraft, M++, NBA Live, NBA 2K14, Need for Speed Rivals, Pinball Arcade, Planet Size 2, Pool Nation Extreme, Resogun, Skylander Swap Force, Super Motherload, The Playroom, Tiny Brains, Warframe, War Thunder, and Watch Dogs. Now, out of these, some of these are going to be free to play. So, War Thunder, which is it's not a game that I've played. I've heard of it. It's a kind of a World War II air combat simulator kind of thing. That's currently free already on PC. That's going to be free on the PlayStation, and so is PlanetSide 2 and DC Universe. PlanetSide 2's again on PC. It's free, freemium kind of game, so you buy the extra shit. And same with DC Universe Online. Used to be subscription based, but they've kind of favoured a free to play with in-game purchases for that. They did also announce that for PlayStation Plus owners, Drive Club PlayStation Plus Edition isn't going to be the full game. So we kind of thought that might be the case. Apparently you get a selection of cars and tracks where you can, if you wish, opt in and buy the full game at a reduced price, or you can buy the tracks and bits and pieces that you want to play piecemeal. So, if you want a certain car, you can get it. They haven't really gone into the whole details as to what happens if you decide that you buy a certain amount of cars and then want to get the full game. Do you kind of get an extra reduction? I gather that's probably not going to happen. However, they did all announce that Resogun, which is the new shoot 'em up from the guys who did Super Stardust HD, Housemarque, which is still one of the best PlayStation 3 games out there. That's going to be free on launch for PlayStation Plus subscribers. So that's, you've got a game out of the box. They're also going to give 14 days trial. I thought it'd be 30. I thought it'd be 3 months, but they're giving 14 days free trial of PlayStation Plus. So even if you walk away from the game shop with just a console, you will be able to play games on your machine. Anything on there that takes your fancy?
No, not one.
Not one.
And I'm sure the ones that do, like Battlefield 4 and Lego Marvel, are multi-plat. So
yes, I will go through. I will go through that list shortly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. None of them. Not a one. So I know which one I'll be canceling.
Well, that's your own fault.
No, it's not. It's Sony's fault.
To be fair, Sony have taken a gamble. I watched the conference. I know you didn't because obviously of work constraints, but they are pushing heavily into indie. That's where I think they can see the market going, and it's a ballsy move, but it could pay off because indies in the last couple of years, indie has been the way to go for games. I mean, they've got there was a couple of games on at the conference. One was I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, but Murasaki Baby, which is a Vita game, exclusive to the Vita, no other console, and it's basically it's some kind of nightmarish dream world where you're guiding a child by the hand along various scary levels, and it just looked like it'd come from the mind of a madman, and it just looked absolutely fantastic. They also announced the guys who did Dare Esther. Is it China Studios? I think it might be China Studios, which is obviously quite critically acclaimed on PC. Are bringing out their next game, again console exclusive to the PlayStation 4, and that's called Everyone's Gone to the Rapture. Again, it looks like a kind of a story-driven exploration kind of game, much like Dare Esther was. So they're really pushing hard. I mean, Minecraft's coming. A lot of these indie games that are coming out. I mean, Hotline Miami 2, they mentioned. What other big ones did they have on there? Oh, you know what it's like when you can't remember these things. Hotline Miami 2, Binding of Isaac, that's coming. And these are all going to be exclusive to a Sony console for launch. They were very careful about saying that with some of those. It's like the console exclusive. So it sounds like it's going to be timed. Which is, that's fair enough. The indies have got to make their money, but they've certainly, Sony have certainly courted them and got them on board to at least make Sony the platform of launch choice for consoles, whether it be 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year. Exclusivity will be, I guess, down to the negotiations between Sony and the indies, but they're taking this kind of gamble, and they had a lot of interesting stuff on show, as most indie things are. They're kind of outside of the box kind of stuff, but they've also got the big hitters. You can't run a console alone on indies, so it's interesting.
It depends on how good these indie games are going to be. I mean, it's a gamble at first, but indie games spread around by word of mouth. So if most of these are good, I think they can push some system sales.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think Sony, there was that issue with Microsoft when they had the indie game sections on their dashboard. It was hidden away. There's a big hoo-ha about that. I don't think Sony will do that. You can already see on the PlayStation Vita that they've got an indie section specifically for indies, and it's there up front. You can see it. It's not hidden away anywhere. It's easy to access, and I can see them doing something similar with the PlayStation 4, where you're going to have a big, brightly lit area for your indie games, and probably have a lot of prominence on the store. They also briefly showed off the user interface. It looks nice, and it looks fast. It looks really, really smooth. It does have whiffs of the cross-media bar, but not so much this off-putting. It was. I mean, they basically were. The guy was going through the list of the games on the system, and he pulled up Killzone, and there was a spectator mode, and you had all about sort of these little squares which were matches in progress, which was pretty cool. He picked one and watched it, and then at a flick of a button joined it. So it was really, really fluid, really smooth, run really, really quick. A lot different to what we're used to. So that looks pretty impressive.
Are there pictures of the user interface?
If you go onto the Sony blog, you'll be able to actually watch the video. It's the first thing they do. They open the show with it, so I'd recommend you go. I mean, the conference is an hour and a half long. Some of it's a bit guff, some of it's really good and really interesting, but they did open with that, so it's probably worth having a look. It's probably only a minute and a half, 2 minute section, but it does give you a flavour of what's to come come November. Now, Microsoft, on the other hand, has a list of games that are launching. So these games that I'm about to go through, there are, I think there's 20 or 23. These games are the ones that are going to actually be available on launch. So this isn't a list of what's coming out after that, but I would imagine there's not a lot of games that are going to be coming out after the launch, because you're talking about, at this point, November time, not many games go past the mid-November anyway. So what we've got here, we've got Assassin's Creed 4, Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghosts, Crimson Dragon, Dead Rising 3, FIFA 14, Fighter Within, Forza Motorsport 5, Just Dance 2014, Killer Instinct, I can't say that word, Instinct, Lego Marvel Superheroes, Loco Cycle, Madden NFL 25, NBA 2K14, NBA Live 14, Need for Speed Rivals, Peggle 2, Power Star Golf Rise, Skylander Swap Force, Watch Dogs, Zoo Tycoon, and Zumba Fitness. So again, I mean, if you look at both of those consoles, it's probably the strongest launch lineup of games we've ever had.
Yeah.
Gamers are going to be spoilt for choice.
Yep, and the Microsoft's appeals more to me. So I don't know.
You like your Dead Rising though. Am I correct with that? That's one you're looking forward to.
Yep, Dead Rising, Titanfall. Do they say anything about Titanfall?
That's next year.
It's next year. Okay.
Yeah.
Rise. Rise has piqued my interest. I talked to Boogeyman, and he told me some more information about it, and that's piqued my interest. I can't wait for that. Apparently they showed off some co-op combat at Gamescom, and that sounds interesting. So, and I'm glad to find out that it's not all quick time combat. So.
What they showed at E3 was completely underwhelming for that game. So if they've come out, I've not seen any of the new footage. I will, I've been kind of sort of checking out the gaming websites and the video gaming websites where you can check all these trailers out, and I've been having a look. I've heard really, really good things about Batman Blackgate, which is the portable version of Batman Arkham Origins on the Vita. I've heard some really fantastic stuff about that. Apparently that impressed. I'm still not sold on Origins, but to be fair, that's not that's not coming to new consoles. That might be, if I do get it, it'll be the last game I'll get on for this year on the PS3. But
you know what I'm not impressed with? Speaking of Batman, Ben Affleck.
Oh, come on, give him a chance.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Okay. Okay, let's put it this way. Okay. Michael Keaton.
Good Batman.
Yeah, everyone thought he was going to suck, yeah?
Oh, I don't know. That was 7 when that came out.
I was a bit older, but yeah, everyone thought he was going to suck. He didn't. Heath Ledger.
No,
everyone thought he was going to suck.
You can't compare. No, it's Ben
yeah, no. I'm just saying.
Affleck.
I'm just saying. If you look at this, everyone thought Christian Bale was going to suck. Everyone thought Anne Hathaway was going to suck. Everyone thought Heath Ledger was going to suck. They got it wrong. Now, I'm not defending Ben Affleck. He's made some fucking poor movies in his time. However, he's made some great movies as well, and he's been great in some movies.
I'll tell you this.
So give him the benefit of the doubt.
You can't see. I can't, because he's already played superhero and he sucked at it. He sucked.
That's not essentially his fault, is it?
Yes.
How is it? It's not just an actor's...
when you say Ben Affleck, you don't think superhero. When he was announced at Daredevil, it was just there was a good amount of bitching and moaning too, because he's not superhero material, if you will. I mean, when you say Ben Affleck, you don't think superhero. No, he was good in Argo, and he's good in those kind of roles. And those are the roles he's made for, but not superhero roles. So, whatever the case, it's not a good announcement. The internet's abuzz about it, and I just had to throw it out. So.
It's not going to change either.
Oh, no, absolutely not. They've announced it. They're not going to... Unless Christian Bale's like... Unless he saw the announcement, he's like, that kind of sucks. I need to reprise my role. So let's start an online petition. Let's get Christian Bale back as Batman. We'll be all right.
Well, it worked with Microsoft, same.
Or get Michael Keaton back. Yeah?
That would be cool, yeah. A grizzled Batman at that point.
Yeah. With a little bit of a gut. With a little bit of a gut.
Other stuff that happened this week, obviously EA had their press conference. Peggle 2 is a timed exclusive on Xbox 360.
Xbox 360?
Oh, sorry, Xbox One.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what to think about that. It's how different is it going to be? I mean,
no, it's not. It's just one of those things. It started out, on console life. It started out on the 360, and then eventually found its way to the PS3. So I don't know why they think that's a good deal. I'm sure Microsoft has their hands in pockets and said, here, we're going to throw money at you. You're going to make this exclusive for a little bit. So.
Well, they've also announced that Modern Warfare, Garden Warfare, which is the Plants vs. Zombies third-person action game, is also going to be exclusive to the one. Whether or not that's a timed exclusive, I don't know. But it'll be a shame if that is timed exclusive. I can't see EA doing that sort of thing. To be fair, I still think Titanfall is going to come out on PlayStation 3 at some point. Just
but didn't they say that was... Well, I guess they didn't come out and really say that it wasn't a timed exclusive. So they've
not said anything, but it is coming out on PC as well as Xbox One. Yeah, so okay. I can't see it. I think maybe 6 months, 8 months, maybe.
Maybe a year. I think a year.
Maybe, yeah. We'll see. Yeah. So they also announced the free FIFA 14 game for Europe and the Legend exclusive content to Xbox One. But let's not be about FIFA 14 will still be on PlayStation 4. Will be on every console possible. Same with Battlefield. That's going to be available. EA aren't that stupid as to sort of cut off their nose to spite their face. I just think that EA are probably feeling a little bit burnt in regards to they dropped their online pass, thinking that Microsoft was going to stick the DRM on, and they've now kind of got a little bit of leverage with Microsoft to get a fair bit of cash out of them. So we'll see how that pans out. What other big news was coming from there? I guess
Vita price drop.
The Vita price drop and the Vita memory cards as well. I don't think the memory card price drop was enough. I also don't. I was hoping they would actually announce a bigger memory card. I have a Vita. I have a 32 gig card, and I constantly have to keep deleting games and reinstalling them to keep space on my device.
Is that the biggest you can get for it?
Yeah, you can't get. That's what I mean. I would have loved 128 gig. I'd quite happily pay over the odds for 128 gig. It's crazy, and the problem is that if you from what I've not tried it, from what I believe, it's if you change a memory card, you have to reset your device, which is absolutely no good to me. So I'm a PlayStation Plus subscriber. They give me all these great games for free. I've got nowhere to put them.
Right. I don't understand. Reset your device if you change memory cards?
I think so.
I don't understand
I think that's the case. It's something to do with it stops people have multiple profiles and have you have to tie it to one profile. That's what it is. It's to do with tied to profiles. A memory card's tied to your profile. So if you put another memory card in, you have to reset and do your profile or something. It's really daft. Another big thing, and it's one thing I forgot to mention, Sony Borderlands 2 coming to the Vita.
Yep, I saw that. Yep.
That's bonkers. How have they made that possible?
Well, do you think anyone's going to care about it, though?
I piqued my interest, and a lot of people went wild over that at the conference.
Well, see, there's a difference between people going wild over it and people actually buying it.
True. You're definitely right there.
And the game's been out on consoles for, what, a year?
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? It would be the end of last year that came out.
So what's going to be...
Well, because it's coming out 2014, so by the time it comes out, it's been over a year.
Yeah. Wow, so... okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, but we had the price drop for the PlayStation 3, 12 gig in the UK and Europe, and you guys actually got the 12 gig because you'd never had that before, had you?
No. Oh.
So I mean, was 19. Is it 199? I believe.
I have no idea. I didn't even hear about it.
Yeah, I think it's 199, which is a great price. People who go on about the Xbox One and the PS4, it's still a great time to pick up a PS3 if you've never bought one.
Yeah.
It's really cheap, and
Yep.
it's there are some still quality games.
And there's going to be
on that
quality
games,
games even after launch.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, you look at Saints Row now, and Grand Theft Auto is coming, and these games come the next couple of years will still be supported. The big games like Call of Duty and FIFA and Madden and all of those type of games, they're all going to be supported throughout. So it's under $200.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
If the PS4 launch lineup doesn't really what you get your goat or whatever, go buy a PS3
set your heart afire.
Right, yeah, you go buy a PS3 real cheap and have all these great games already. You got the PS Plus, so yeah, I mean, if you want to wait for PS4 until next year or the year after, whatever, go get your PS3, $200. A lot of good stuff on there. So
yeah, absolutely.
Can we talk about a little bit about Amazon and GameStop doing the if you buy a game on the 360 and you want to upgrade to the Xbox One, you get it for $10.
That's also been confirmed over here as well.
Okay, great. So that's interesting. Why Sony's not doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Oh, they are doing it. I didn't hear that.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Basically, it's a kind of an arrangement between the manufacturer, the publisher, and retailers. But essentially, if this is only for limited time, though, so you only get a certain amount of time after the game launches on the PlayStation 4 to do it. But if you buy, say, for example, Call of Duty Ghosts on the PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, and then get a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, you'll be able to upgrade to the higher version for $10 or £10 or €10. So
what you can do is wait if you're getting a new console, and then buy it on the new console because you're spending $10 more as opposed to buying $60. You're paying $7.
Admittedly,
it's a good deal.
It's good for those who want to. I am not going to be buying any on the PS3 when I can play it on the PS4, but it is a good deal for those that want to get straight cracking. They want to get there. They want to get it done. They're not dicking you over.
Right, and it's for those who need, like you said, to get into the game, like Call of Duty, real day one launch. For me, and I'm sure I speak for you maybe as well. It's just those games you can wait on. You don't have to go out and buy them day one because you'll play them a month later or so. So
yeah. I mean, there's only just over 3 weeks between Call of Duty on the launching on other consoles and then that coming out when the PlayStation 4 comes out. So it's not the end of the world. I'll probably still be playing Grand Theft Auto at that point anyway. That'll tide me over for sure.
And that's essentially the last real, for this year anyway, current gen game, I believe.
Well,
right?
you have got Batman. That's October.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about Batman.
But I think those two are two of the last big hitters, I guess, with the exception of FIFA 14. But that's obviously going to be multi-platform, including the new ones. But there's no word on.
Are they doing it for those like FIFA? I forget that launches. Okay, so I know Madden's launching soon over here. So So if I pick it up for 360, I can trade that in for the Madden Xbox One or PS4 version for only $10.
Yeah. And they've also, I don't know whether this is the same for Madden, but they've confirmed that the FIFA save will save over. So if you've got so far in the game, you can carry it on with the new console. So I don't know whether that's the same for
I'm sure it is, because I mean, just save it to your cloud space, and I'm sure you can download the save. So that I might do, because I mean, if games that come out in August, you have what, August, September, October, like 3 months to play that, and then take up the new. I don't know. We'll see. I might be bored of it by then. That's 3 months. Who knows what's going to happen? So.
Exactly. We've also had the announcement of a few games such as Fable Legends,
Yeah. Yeah.
which
Ooh.
no one really heard a great deal about, but apparently it's a sort of 4-player or even 5-player co-op kind of game, online game, which I believe from what I heard is going to be free to play. And apparently 4 of you can team up, and then the 5th person can be the bad guys. You have 4 good guys and a bad guy. So, yeah, it's be cool. I mean, the only Fable game I'm interested in this year is the anniversary, because I do want to pick that one up, because it's the only Fable game I haven't played actually. Played the 2 and 3. But I didn't have an Xbox when the first. No, never had an Xbox at that point, so I never played it. Yeah, and the guys who worked on 3, obviously, that most of the team are working on this. It's been using the new engine, so it looks really spangly. So I'm looking forward to that. But
what the hell does spangly mean?
Shiny.
Ah. Okay. Continue word. I'll have to use that and incorporate that into my vocab. Thanks, John. I learn a new word every week I'm on here with you. You know that?
They're all British words, you know. It's all bollocks. So
I know that one. I know
that. Bollocks and wanker. So let's have a look. What else has happened? I'm just scanning through. You get all this information come through, and it kind of hurts your head a little bit, and it all leaks out. Oh yes. They have also, Microsoft have also, this will interest you after you said you were looking forward to that game, have confirmed that Rise, Son of Rome will include microtransactions.
Motherfucker. Fucking figures. That's fine. I don't really do microtransactions on anything anyway. Because like the stuff you need, you don't have to buy. You have everything you need to progress through the game. I don't want a distinct advantage. I don't care. But whatever. That's good. Whatever. Fuck it.
Hopefully it won't be any kind of intrusive microtransactions, but you never can. You never can tell, can you?
No, and it better not be, because I was really looking forward to that game. And I still am. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't, that's fine. We'll see how the microtransactions go, but fuck it.
Yeah.
And you know who we can blame about it? Well, who really started the microtransaction?
Oh no, the first one was. I'd like to think Bethesda was the first one that came to note, because that was a horse armor for Oblivion, and that was kind of the first one that gained fame for a bad reason as opposed to a good one. But I'm not sure if that was the first piece of DLC. It's certainly the first piece that I can remember. But to be fair, when it comes to microtransactions, EA have become the master of that, to be fair. And it's whether good or bad, it's something that's probably not going to go away for a while.
Capcom is the master. Of course, they're the master at screwing over people, in my opinion, with that stuff.
Well, it's not so much microtransactions, it's just basically, with Capcom, it's releasing the same game over and over again.
Touche.
Drew won't like that. PlayStation 4 controllers are going to be also available in red and blue from launch. So if you do want to pick up a second controller for somebody in the house, but don't like their grubby mitts all over yours, you can get a different coloured one. I'm quite peculiar, so Laura's going to be picking up a different colour because I don't like. I like having my own controller. I like to be glazed in my sweat, no one else's. You know what I mean?
I gotcha. I gotcha. I don't understand it, but I gotcha. What are the price points?
Well, I couldn't tell you what they are. I think they're like $60. Okay. Oh no, they might be. They might actually be about $75 over there. We're getting them for about £50 to £55, which is a lot. Yeah, I mean, considering you could probably pick up the current controller for £20 less, the official one, for PS3, that's quite pricey. I would also think it probably falls in line with how much an Xbox One controller will be. You have to bear in mind that early adopters get screwed, and you're going to pay through the nose for the first 6-7 months. Same with games. I mean, games are going to go up to their full kind of RRP, and they'll get charged it, and then slowly the prices will start to fall in line with what current pricing is.
I don't think we're going to.
It happened with the last generation, so.
Well, I mean, they came out at 60, and they haven't really changed since. And I don't think they're going to exceed 60. But the controllers, if they're $75, I better not break mine.
Yeah,
B,
well, you know,
whoever wants to play with me can fucking buy their own shit.
Yeah, bring your own controller.
Right. So yeah, that's a little steep.
We talk about this, but in about 3 years' time, you'll have a small little collection of controllers that you built up over time, and you know, at least Sony are giving you one that's rechargeable once again, whereas Microsoft are screwing you over with those batteries. Why can't
Mine
they just...
rechargeable? I don't have any issue with that.
Yeah, but the battery packs are rubbish.
Not really. I've had no problems with it. Not really.
I've bought a couple of official battery packs for the Xbox controller, and it doesn't take more than 6 months for them to get down to a point where you get 2 or 3 hours out of a bloody charge. It's really annoying.
I've had no problems, John. Of course,
Well,
I've had no problems with my PS3 controller either. And
I've never had a problem with that.
And you know, that one, if you have problems with, that becomes a hassle then. So, I mean, it's very rare. I've heard of no problems, but if you do have a problem, that you have to unscrew, go find a battery. Where do you even find a battery? I've never seen a PS3 battery. No, you don't. You just
send them back to Sony.
Oh, you have to send your controller back to Sony. That's a bigger hassle. Come on, John.
I've got loads of controllers. Again, to the point where I've got about 4 different PlayStation controllers.
And that's fine. But that's a bigger. That's with Apple. You know, the same thing. If you need a iPhone battery replacement, you got to send that shit out to Apple. That shit's annoying. Well,
we've got an Apple store in our city, so we're okay.
Well, we have an Apple store too, and they said you got to drop it off, and they'll send it out. So it takes about 2 weeks. So
no, with us, in the UK, they just swap out the device.
Yeah, well, they don't over here, and it's a pain in the ass.
Unlucky.
So if you get like a defaulted, PS4 controller, you got to send it back to Sony, and you can't play your device unless you want to shell out a $75, for a new controller while you wait for the other one to come back. I'm sorry.
You're just moaning for the sake of it.
I'm just being devil's advocate. They make good stuff. I've never had a problem with mine. I've heard of no problems with the PS3, so hopefully they'll carry that over to the PS4 because that could become quite a big hassle. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll see. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's again, we sort of went off topic on that one. It's just about the money at the moment. Everything's going to be a little bit pricier, but we'll get over it.
That's
you want a console, you'll pay the price.
Console launch, though.
Yeah,
it's the exact same thing.
So Sony announced a couple of other bits and pieces, including that they are going to be integrated with Twitch. So that was something that was up in the air. Microsoft announced it earlier on in the year at E3 that they'd have Twitch as one of their partners for video streaming. Sony have also come out and said, yep, we're doing the same, which makes our job a lot easier. It means we can actually stream onto our channel, even if we don't have some kind of DVR kit and, like Drew and Ken have. So hopefully that means that us normal folk will be able to actually do some fondling, which will be really nice. They've also announced a new game called Shadow of the Beast. Now, apparently this is a remake of an Amiga game. I can't remember it. I can't remember what an Amiga was, but I never had one. I was too low rent. I had a Commodore 64. Apparently, it was quite the cult classic, and it looks amazing. The trailer that they showed, beautiful looking game. It's kind of a hack and slash kind of, all tooth and claw kind of game. Looks very, very intriguing. Certainly would recommend you go out and seek the trailer. What else have we got? Just going down the list of a load of stuff. Let's have a look. Oh yes, Gran Turismo 6 gets a release date of 6th of December, so probably the last game of the year. I can't imagine anybody releasing after that, can you?
No, I don't know. I don't really know the trends, but I'm sure that's one of the last things to come out of the year.
It looks nice, but I just seems daft that it's coming out on the PS3 but not the PS4. That would have been a great launch title, but you know how long it takes to pull off polyphony to actually make a game. We'll probably see the next one in about 5 years' time when the PlayStation 4 is coming to a close.
Right. That seems to be the way things go. But, that stuff. So, I don't know. I don't care.
You don't care at all, do you?
Nope. I don't like racing. I mean, give me Burnout. I'm fine with that. But,
something for Ken. Killer Instinct. You're going to have 2 editions. You're going to have a free-to-play edition, which will net you... let's have a look. You will net you 1 free character. But each extra... 1 character.
I thought it was 2.
No, just the 1. And each extra fighter will cost you, by the looks of it, about $6.
Okay.
However, you can buy the Ultimate Edition, which will include the 6 launch fighters and early access to 2 DLC characters. So, I don't know. I've got a feeling they're going to fuck this up. I know Ken is hoping that they won't. I think they're going to fuck that game up.
How much is it retailing for, the Ultimate Edition?
About $50. 35 quid over here.
And you said how many characters?
6. And DLC for 2 more.
So
8 characters.
So it's roughly, if you do the math, 8 times 6 is 48. You're actually cheaper to buy the characters separately.
You do also get the 2 DLC characters, so you got to add another.
But you get early access,
$12.
though. So okay, the only thing, if you have a total of 8 characters, because eventually you'll have access to the 2 DLC, so that's 8 characters, and 8 times 6 is 48.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I've got you here.
So it's a little bit.
You get some extra stuff as well, but it's I don't know. It just seems. I don't think they know what to do with that game.
Well, they could have done some good things, but I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm sure they'll fuck it up, but that's okay. I'm sure people. I don't know. I don't know how many people are actually going to buy that at launch.
Ken.
Well, besides Ken, I mean that's a given. He's waiting how many years for this, so I don't know.
Well, we'll see.
It looks good. I'm gonna buy it, but I just don't know which one I'm gonna buy because I don't care about all the characters, you know.
So maybe just get the free one and buy them piecemeal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Ubisoft did show off a new video for The Division, which focused on the iPad stroke tablet gameplay, where you can hop in and help out teammates. Looks pretty cool. You basically can use the iPad to sort of float around the battlefield, tagging enemies, launching sort of little mini rockets to the area to help clear. If there's a lot of enemies, that'll help clear the area a bit. You can also buff your characters on the ground by giving them healing abilities and things like that. So,
what if you don't have an iPad? You can't use that feature then, right?
I guess it'll be available on phones as well. I don't know how well it'll run. I don't,
Well, what if you don't want to run it on your phone? Is there a PC app?
Stop being such a bitch.
Why am I being a bitch? If you don't have
you don't want
to
run it on your phone. You don't want to run it on your iPad or tablet.
Well, okay,
No, you can't run it on your PC.
Some of us have a data plan, and I'd rather have a full experience than a little tiny smartphone experience. I want the big full screen of an iPad or a tablet.
Well, get an iPad or a tablet then.
I'm not shelling out $800 for that piece of shit. I should be able to run it on a PC.
Then buy the PC version of the game, because that's all you're going to be able to do.
You buy the PC version of the game. Dude.
No, I'm getting it on PlayStation 4. I don't need to.
Because I have an iPad. Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Whatever.
You have an iPhone. It'll probably work on an iPhone.
But again, it's not. There's a big screen difference here.
Fair enough, admittedly, but I'm sure you play other games on the iPhone.
No, not really.
It's for people who want to do it. It looks pretty cool if you want to do it. I don't think it's a be-all
and if you want to do
game,
it and you don't have the devices to do it, then you have a laptop.
What, do you want Ubisoft to give you a free tablet? Is that what you want?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like that. So with
Wouldn't we all?
But because I would like to play with that. You play without the features, and if you don't have the tablet or anything to do it, then you miss out, and that's kind of shitty. But whatever. That's the way the world works, I suppose. Now,
to be fair, a lot of people do have tablets now, or mobile phones that will run it. So there are options. If the screen's too small too small on your phone, then stop being a whiny baby.
Well, how about you give me the $800 then? I'll stop being a whiny baby.
Yeah, I'll send that to you in the post.
Or you can send me an iPad. That's fine. You're an Apple guy, right? Why don't you send me an iPad? Right?
Yes. I don't think it works like that. What else have we got? I think they're the sort of big stories. There were a lot of videos. Sims 4, the Sims 4 had kind of its debut. Looks like The Sims. It's not going to be online, so they were quite quick to point that out. No, we're not doing it this time. Sorry. Buy a game. So you ain't got to worry about that. I kind of. The Sims got way too complex for me after Sims 2. With all this fucking shite you got to do. What do they call them? The aspirations and all of that shit. It got fucking way too hard. I like The Sims, where you fed them, you clothed them, bathed them, sent them out to work, and while they're there, built shit around the house. That was fine for me. It's got way too complex. And even to the point where now the colour of your walls will they also had a new trailer for Infamous Second Son, and it teased a new power, electricity. Although it's not new power for Infamous players, right. It is for the new character.
Okay.
So it might mean that we're going to see multiple elements in this one as well. Wow. Whereas before, I know with Infamous 2, obviously you had the choice. Electricity was your main power, and then you had, depending on which path you took, had the choice of either developing fire or ice powers. This could sort of have them all. You could end up being a real powerhouse, possibility anyway. But the trailer kind of just hinted at that. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be really good.
That's the game I'm looking forward to. I wish that was launched because, well, no, I don't, because I wouldn't know which one to get.
You'd be skint.
Yeah. What?
Skint. Is that another word you learned today?
Yeah. What the hell? Yeah. What does that mean?
Skint. Broke.
Oh. Okay. Yes. I'd be broke. No, I still would have to make a decision which one I get. That would make it harder. One game makes it harder. So thank God it doesn't come out in November.
Well, it's February, so it's not too far off. Those that pick up a PlayStation 4 won't have too long. I'm sure the games that come out. I'm really looking forward to Lego Marvel. That just looks amazing. That's going to keep me plenty busy enough until February. That's for sure. As we've kind of gone through today, there's a massive launch lineup. You've got some great games coming out next year. Is going to be interesting.
Yep.
To see what games are coming next year, stuff that we may not have seen already. I know Division is next year, Titanfall, Destiny, Infamous, Witcher 3. These are big games, but it's only a handful of games. What sort of other surprises do we have? What delights have we got in store? That's going to be interesting.
It's going to be a great year.
Hopefully so.
I have no doubt. These launch lineups are good.
It's best launch lineups we've had, so it is really good. Whichever side you pick, you're gonna be spoiled for choice.
Yep.
And with the way it's going, they're all going to be available digitally on day one, so you're going to be able to choose whether you want physical media. They need to get the pricing right. That's the one barrier of entry that I have with digital. I'd love to go all digital. For that, I need a bigger hard drive, so hopefully Sony will allow you to pop in a bigger hard drive as well this time. And
this time
also,
you can do that now with the PS3.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, you mean transfer that over?
Yeah,
Okay,
and also the price, because if you look at the store, games are first party. So, for example, The Last of Us, that had parity with retail. It was the same price. However, when it's a third party, you can add £10 more, you can add £20 more. I mean, Crysis 3 was £20 more expensive on the store than it was on in retail. And bearing in mind that there are no channels to get through when you distributing it digitally, it's almost, with the exception of what you have to pay Sony for the server side of things, there's no other cost. Right. So it kind of annoys me. They need to get that right. If digital games are going to be the same price and available all for everyone on day one, then I think I may go all digital.
Yeah. That's the way I'm looking, unless it's more for some reason. If it's going to be more, I'm not going to get digital.
No. That's what they want us to do. They want us to go digital. Then you have to make it worth our while. You have to make it tempting enough. And having your games more expensive is not tempting at all.
No,
it's anti-tempting.
Yeah.
And, it's, for me, I go to work most days and I go into the city centre and there is a game store and it is incredibly easy for me to buy games. It would be easier if I could download them and they'd be ready there for me when I got home, but I'm not paying over the odds for that privilege.
Nope.
You have to factor in the fact that they're non-tradable, and that's the thing. I mean, that's what I don't understand. If your prices are lower digitally, or at least at the same price, you're stopping that. You're automatically stopping trading ins from happening. You're solving your problem that you're all banging on about for the last couple of years.
Right.
Don't make it harder for me to choose between it. Make it easier.
Right.
Make it so. I mean, so it's an impulse buy. It seems to me common sense. If they want to solve this trading issue where the developer and publishers don't get paid, and you've got a platform, or you've got platforms now where the games are available digitally on the same day. In fact, a lot of times earlier, because most shops don't open until 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, whereas digital, if you could buy something on Steam, it's unlocked at midnight. It would be easy to just, it should be easy to make that decision for me. It's like, well, of course it's a no-brainer. I'm going to go and pick the game that's the same. I'm not losing anything by picking the digital version, other than the fact that, I then no longer have the right to sell it. But if that means that I can either preload it, ready for a midnight launch, or it starts downloading at midnight, and with this new downloadable technology that they're doing, you can play it 10 minutes later, I'm in. Because I don't, I'm running out of shelf room.
Right, and that's an issue, especially with these systems too, because they're bigger than the ones we have now. So I have no room.
I mean, they run. They do run slightly faster when they're installed onto the hard drive. You haven't got the disk running in the machine, and I don't know. It's they bang on about that, and they have the solution there. It's going to be in front of them. Whether they take it or not is a different matter.
I was. Last year I was one of the ones that says that we're not ready for an all-digital distribution for games, but I'm going to correct myself and say that we're ready, and they're going to have to do it right. Like today, I need to go after the show, after we're done, I'm going to go buy Saints Row. I have to get up, get out, and go, and waste gas money. I would prefer to download it on my 360. Right.
You could have pressed a button, and that'd have downloaded by the time you're done here.
I could have downloaded it at work. It could have been waiting ready for me to play as soon as we're done here, but it's not. I got to go out to the store. So I prefer digital if they do it the right way. So hopefully they will. I'm sure they will. And,
it's not for everybody. There are some people who haven't got the speeds to be able to do that.
Right.
But so it's but it is time where you can do, this generation can be that transition generation.
Yep.
But again, proof will be in the pudding. Proof will be day one.
Yep.
When you log onto the store and you see how much it costs, and you think they fucked it up or they've done it right.
And
that's it.
And if they've done it right, how fast is it going to download with the server since it's day one? since it's launch, day one launch, how slow is it going to be? So day one, maybe the first couple weeks, maybe you want to go buy it at the store.
Well, the thing is, you're going to be in the store getting the PlayStation, or you're going to get your console anyway, and it's going to be very easy to be tempted to get the game. But
well, for that, if you go to the store,
drive to get it installed and all that stuff. So,
no, I mean, if you're going to the store, I can see that. But for people who pre-order on Amazon, like I did, you don't have to, worry about upselling. You're like, oh, did you get the game?
Yeah, I'm going to the store. I'm going to midnight.
Have fun with that shit, John.
Yeah, fuck it. That's gonna be fun. I like fun.
I don't know how the hell that seems like it's gonna be fun for you. How the hell is that fun? I've done the midnight launches. I've stood in lines. I've worked them, and they're fucking miserable.
Yeah, we'll see.
Miserable. Whatever. Have fun doing that shit.
Anyway,
my only worry is if my system comes in and I'm at work. Will it actually be on my doorstep, or will someone steal it?
Well, I don't know which couriers you guys use, but normally over here someone has to sign for something that big and expensive.
Right, over a certain amount, people have to sign. So I don't know. Whatever day it is, I'm going to take off anyways, just to ensure that it's in my fucking hands and no one else's.
Yeah, I've got the week off of the PlayStation 4 launch, so I'm okay.
Oh, you got the whole week off. Oh, look at you.
Unfortunately, yeah, I can only take Monday through Sunday, which means I get 3 days with it. But, 4 days to get myself up and get ready.
There you go.
But anyway, let's get the fuck out of here. Thank you once again for listening. This has been just a random shit rant about Gamescom. Some good stuff happened this week, but a lot of stuff that we'd seen before. It's nice to have a play. Yeah.
Not to cut you off. When do you think Microsoft's going to announce now?
Mid-November.
Not launch. When do you think they're going to announce?
Oh, announce. Sorry. Okay. I don't know. That's really. They're gonna have to announce an announcement of. They're gonna have to announce the announcement of the announce. If you know what I mean. They can't just come out one day and say, oh, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
They're gonna have to actually say. They're gonna have to have an event to announce it. Why the fuck didn't they do it at Gamescom? And to be fair. Microsoft's presence was very low key. They didn't have a big conference like Sony. They had kind of a small soiree with Phil Spencer and Phil Harrison sort of entertaining some people who were fans of the Xbox. I don't know. They're going to have to say to people, we're going to announce something. And it's like, well, you could have announced something. Even Sony, you're talking mid-November now, so for this United States, so you're talking about 3 months. That's 12 weeks. That's not a fucking lot of time.
Nope, it's not. So, you got to think, though, Sony picked the best time, mid-November. That kind of screwed Microsoft, so they kind of have to, they're going to have to announce it a week, maybe too early. It's going to have to be early November for Microsoft.
It's going to have to be It's going to have to be either early November or late November because
it won't be late November. They want to get those Black Friday sales.
They do. So
and they won't launch
They can't launch it too close. It's going to have to be because retailers will never fucking let them. It's going to have to be a couple of weeks. So it could be that this will be early November.
Yep.
But why they didn't say something, I don't know.
I think they were waiting for Sony to play their hand. And Sony's like, you know what? If you want to do that, we're going to fuck you. We're going to take your November 15th date. Because I guarantee you, Microsoft was eyeing that. I guarantee you they were eyeing that date. So they're like, you're going to wait? Fuck you. You didn't make an announcement at Gamescom? We will. November 15th. Suck it, Microsoft. So,
boom.
So
be
we'll
fun.
see.
November's going to be a fun month.
Yep. I'm looking forward to it.
So, thank you again for listening. If you are listening to this or watching this or whatever, I've been at John W UK and my co-host at Killer Wolverine. If you want to get in contact with us on Twitter, we will of course be talking about this all over again come Sunday, if I can be asked, on the N4G podcast. You can of course listen to that on Monday. If you have any questions, you can contact the show on podcasts@ztgd.com. But for the time being, I'd like to say goodbye.
See ya.
And Justin probably like to say goodbye too?
No, not really.
Oh, fuck you then.